Hi, I'm Chef Steve. Welcome to the Care Kitchen, where we cook with kindness. This program is brought to you by ComForCare and At Your Side. ComForCare and At Your Side provides personal care for people throughout the United States and Canada. We're here with our program in the Care Kitchen, where we feature recipes from the Care Kitchen cookbook and have some fun with food, be creative, think of food as an engaging, meaningful activity, and just having some good fun and having some fun thinking about good nutrition, good balance, everything that we want to think about when we're cooking for older people. That is what we're talking about. Today we're going to be showing and preparing a very classic one that everybody loves. I know I grew up on it. Everybody has their own sort of version of it, but that's the classic mashed potatoes, and that's featured in the Care Kitchen cookbook. And our program is every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern, by the way. We're here in the Care Kitchen, and it's just great to be here. Thanks for being here with me today, and I'm going to get started preparing our recipe today, which is mashed potatoes. So I've got a pot of water on, and I'm going to turn that on. We've got some water going, and I've got my potatoes here. So again, classic, simple, delicious, easy to prepare, and let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I need is my peeler, and that's one way we can do it. So let's do this. Let's try peeling with a peeler, and then I'm going to peel with my paring knife. So let me just pull something over here to do my peeling. My peel is on. One thing about using a peeler as opposed to a knife is you tend to get more of the potato. A lot of times I'll use a paring knife and I'll get too much of the potato in the peel. But we're going to test it today, and I'll test my skill while we do it. So we'll do two different peeling methods. Now, I've got 3 potatoes here, and that's probably going to be enough for about 5 to 6 portions of mashed potatoes. So now, one of the great things about mashed potatoes is they taste delicious when you first make them. You can have them with butter, you can put Parmesan cheese, you can put chives, you can put almost anything in there in addition. But you also, when you have leftover mashed potatoes, it gives you a real opportunity to come up with a great potato pancake, or use the potatoes and make a croquette with some leftover chicken or leftover fish. Okay, so we got 1 potato peeled with a potato peeler. Now I'm going to peel one with a paring knife, and we'll see. You can see what kind of peels I have here. Now let's see how we do with the paring knife. So first thing I'm going to do is just lop the ends off when I do it with the paring knife, and then come down and peel it. And you can get pretty good at this kind of peeling, and this kind of peeling for certain things is very useful. Potatoes, I think generally you're going to get the most yield out of the potato if you use a standard peeler. It's also, from a safety point of view, the peeler is probably the safest. As you get more familiar with using the knives and they become more comfortable for you to use, then you may want to do a technique like this, which is kind of fun to do. And I enjoy doing it because it's like a little challenging to see how little of the skin I can get off. So it gives me a little bit of fun when I'm peeling it. So that's what I've got now. I've got that one peeled, and here's our peels from that. So you can sort of see I have a little bit more potato on here than on that. So let's do our third potato with the peeler, and then we'll be ready to cut them up. Meanwhile, I have my water on, and I'm going to add my potatoes to my water and get them cooking. And I'm making classic mashed potatoes, so that means I'm just going to add a little bit of milk and some butter and some salt and pepper. And I am going to garnish them with some dried chives that I have. Chives and potato go so well together. It's a great herb. They dry nicely too, so you can have them in your pantry. And chive is like almost like a skinny, real skinny scallion, has an onion flavor to it. It's in the onion family, and it adds a lot of delicious flavor, especially to potatoes. Okay, so we've got our third potato peeled, and move our peels out of the way, and we'll get our potatoes cutting up to go in the pot. So now, what I usually like to do is I like to cut the potatoes in fairly small pieces because it cooks faster and it doesn't really make any difference in terms of the potato itself. We want to get it cooked. So what I'll do is I'll cube this potato up in fairly small cubes, and we'll get it in the water and we'll get them cooking. I can remember mashed potatoes as a kid being one of my favorites, and my mother always made them, and it was always homemade mashed potatoes. Of course, today, there's so many products that you can get, the dried mashed potatoes, and they're quite good, actually, and I use them all the time. And actually, it's a great thing to have on hand in your pantry. You can use it as a thickener, and of course you can make mashed potatoes, but you can use them if you want to make a quick croquette. You have some leftover chicken or leftover fish. You can just mash it all up together, add some seasonings, put an egg in there, and make a nice croquette. And we've done some of that on the Care Kitchen before, and I'll probably be doing something that along those lines using salmon and potatoes and making a salmon cake. But back to this classic. This is so great on its own, and we love potatoes. And now the potatoes I'm using, these are russet potatoes. For mashed potatoes, I think these make the best mashed potatoes. They're a little starchy, so they create a little more structure and texture. So that's one of the reasons why I like to use the russets. But you can use almost any potato for mashed potatoes. And of course, there's so many different types of potatoes out there. And we have our red skin potatoes. We have the little fingerling potatoes. We have the Dutch baby yellow potatoes. We add assorted little mini potatoes that you can get at the store. So in the world of potatoes, there's a lot of things that you could do. So what we're going to do is we have these potatoes in the pot cooking. We're going to let those cook, and then we'll be back and we'll finish our mashed potatoes. I got my butter, I got my cream, I got my handy potato masher right here, so we'll get that going, and then we'll taste them. Okay, so we're back. We've got our potatoes cooked. I drained off the water, and I have them here in the pot, and I'm going to start adding my ingredients. So I'm putting in a couple of tablespoons of butter, a little bit. I'm going to use half and half today for this. I'm going to just throw a little bit of that in to get started, about a quarter cup. See how we're doing. And I've got some salt. Potatoes need a fair amount of salt, and that's something, of course, that you can modify. You can use a salt substitute if you like. And I'm putting in some black pepper. You can use white pepper if you like, black pepper, red, whatever you like. So this is really totally customizable, and everybody has their favorites. Okay, so I've got butter in there, salt, pepper, and a little bit of half and half in there. Just going to stir that a little bit. And I'll get my potato masher here and just use this handy tool to mash these up. And this way I can see they seem a little dry. I think I need to add just a little more butter in here. Let me add some butter. And then we'll taste it also for salt and pepper. And I'm trying to get them stiff, but not too stiff. This really mashes them up well. You probably just need a touch more of our half and half in here. Just put a little bit more in. There we go. A little bit of that. And we'll continue to mash here a little bit more, and then we'll get my spoon out. Get everything all mashed up. This is a very handy tool if you're making mashed potatoes on a regular basis, which is a dish that you can make on a regular basis because it's inexpensive to make, it's easy to make, and you can do many things with it. It's a completely versatile thing. It's great on its own, but then you can add things and change things and put in different flavorings. It's really a blank canvas. Okay. Now they seem a little bit stiff. I'm just going to put a touch more liquid, and then that's the whole thing. You're just going to do this the way you like it, making it thicker, thinner, that's up to you, and also up to what you're doing with it. Okay, well, this looks like it's got a very nice consistency to it now, so let's put some in the bowl, and we'll give it a taste. Just going to take a little bit here. Oh, sorry for that loud noise. It's going to take a little bit and give it a taste. Make sure our salt and pepper's right. Spot on. Got it right the first time. Tastes delicious. So let's get a little more of our potato. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put a little bit of dried chives on for a little garnish and a little flavor enhancement. So we got our chives in there and just classic mashed potatoes, just so good. So let's get a taste now. It's just so delicious. Well, I want to remind you this program is brought to you by ComForCare and At Your Side. And we're here every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern here in the Care Kitchen, where the main ingredient is kindness. We feature recipes from the Care Kitchen cookbook and generally just have fun with cooking and think about being creative. Try things, have fun, cook, engage with those in your care, and just eat a very good, healthy diet, and you'll feel better. And that is the truth. Well, it's a pleasure being here with you. I'm Chef Steve, and we're here, as I said, every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for spending time with me. I'll see you next time.